Good morning, Liz.
Good morning. How are you?
I am fabulous.
Your family.
Family's doing good. Hey,
Yeah.
I got a quick question for you. Can you be on camera in a breakout? We do breakout rooms today.
Give me about 5 seconds or 5 minutes. Not even 5 minutes. Yes,
Go 5 minutes.
I
Go 5
can.
minutes.
I just need to, let me go get myself.
Yeah, go. Go.
Okay.
See you in a minute. Good morning, Craig. Can you hear me? Craig. I
How are
can't.
you?
There you are. How are you?
I'm well.
Okay, your screen's dark.
Hold on. I'm on my computer instead of my phone today.
Gotcha. Cool. That works.
Here I am.
How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you today?
I am peachy keen. I
Good.
interviewed with Success Magazine yesterday, and we're gonna build out some like 90-day programs kind of thing. And then as soon as I get it the rest of the way, I have it built out for KDEB. I just need to really flip some stuff over and put more success things in there and get rid of anything KDEB and blah, blah. So I really need to tweak it. But as soon as I get it built out, they're going to promote it and sell it, and I'll teach it. And I'm like, so I'm very excited about that.
Nice.
Yeah. How are you doing?
Good. Not able to go on my walk this morning because the hurricane winds and stuff expected here today. So kind of windy out.
Yeah.
You know, my dog is mad at me.
I bet he is.
He doesn't get a walk this morning.
Oh man,
Uh,
that's funny. Yeah,
I'm hoping it gets out of here sooner than later.
it
Supposed to get in
exited
about 10
us.
this morning.
Yeah, it exited us and was a hurricane directly, like the second it exited us. It was crazy. I don't know. I have no experience. To me, that seems like a strong storm that would do that, because usually it weakens up over land and then
Yeah.
takes a little bit to strengthen back up again.
Yeah.
So is it hitting during high tide? Do you know?
Have no idea. So I'm not near the coast at all. So
Right, you're up.
yeah, and then the western part of the state. So I'm close to Georgia.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So do you get tornadoes out there when the hurricanes come through?
Sometimes we do. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That's definitely what happens in our area. It's all hurricane, and then we don't have to worry about water so much except for rainfall. It was a lot of rainfall. My husband told me when I talked to him last night, he finally got electricity, I don't know, about 10 o'clock last night, their time. And I said, what's it look like? And he goes, the backyard is pretty bad. And he said, one of your plants is absolutely shredded. The big, huge Monstera that I had, that was, so the one with the leaves like this, the one of those, and it's huge out there. And he goes, yeah, that's completely shredded, like shredded. And he goes, there's only 3 leaves left, and the 3 leaves that are left are shredded. I'm like, don't tell me, just don't tell me.
Yeah.
I planted a bunch of stuff. My bougainvillea was a baby this year, and now it's 5 feet tall. And I was like in 1 year, and I'm like,
That's great.
yeah, but I don't want to know. He's going to clean it up for me, and I just don't want to know. I'll get back to work again on the yard when I get back, but that's not our story. All right. It is 5:35. We're going to go ahead and do breakout rooms. And then if anybody else joins, they're just late and they don't get to participate. So what we're going to do is we're going to break out. Obviously, I'll be in one of them because there's 4 of us. And one of you is going to pick to read what's in the chat box, which is not in there now. And the other person is not going to read what's in the chat box. The person who reads what's in the chat box is going to be, they're going to be doing the activity, and they're actually going to be learning. It's going to be very interesting because I think you're going to learn more than the person on the other side, but I think the person on the other side is going to have an interesting viewpoint about this. So just when I break you out, just read through the chat box. It's really short. And then I want you guys on the other side just to have a conversation. So pick, pick what you had for dinner last night, or pick what you're going to be doing today. Pick something that's easy that you can just have a discussion with. And we're going to break out for about 5 minutes. And then we're going to come back in here, and you all are going to, and then we're going to kind of debrief on what it is. So I don't want to give too much away, but that's what it's going to look like. So let me put in the chat box. don't look. No cheating. Oh, well, let me back up a second. Well, we don't know because we don't know how the rooms break out. Did you all know that when you do breakout rooms, it's just completely random? Like I don't have any charge of who puts who and who. So when you get in there, one person pick and they will be the person doing it. Okay. All right. So here we go. There's our chat box. Close that out. Let's get our breakout room. We want to create 2 rooms. I can assign manually. I did not know this. Must be a new thing. Here we go. Okay, so it looks like, let me see, open all rooms. It looks like Craig and Kathy are going to be together. Liz and we're going to be together. All right, let's go. Broadcast message. Okay. Broadcast. Well, I don't want to broadcast, I don't think. Can you see the message? Well,
Yeah.
you had no idea what was going on. Yep, that's what you get, sweetie. That's pretty funny. I saw you pop it up and I was like, I didn't even know what to do with you for a second because I could see, you know what I mean? I was like, let's put him over here.
No, I was like, oh, maybe she got stuck in the hurricane. They're all down in the south when they're getting flooded and all that. So maybe there is no power. And then he's like, wait, but I got in.
Yeah.
Wait, what's
What's
so-
going on? It's
Maybe
pretty
Zoom
funny.
has to create a feature of a like be right back sign or something.
I know it would be so
that-
nice
Stuff
for
like
that.
this happens again. People know not to jump off the call.
Or like I need a minion. This is what I wanted my whole life, is just a bunch of minions. So that would be awesome. So we got Craig back. Where's Kathy? We lose her?
Maybe so.
Oh, there she is.
There she is.
Okay. So out of curiosity, who were the people who read the chat box and were the readers? Who are my readers? I was the reader.
Red.
You were the reader. Okay. So from the non-readers, kind of tell me what you were experiencing.
We just chatted.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
Liz, what were you feeling?
It was interesting. At first it was, I felt like, oh, okay, this is, and I'm just talking along. And then I'm just kind of like, at some point I felt like, well, she seems a little disinterested. And I wasn't sure. I mean, and I think it was just more from you're like, I don't know. It wasn't like total disinterest, but it was just like a mellower version. Like I was hoping you were going to be getting excited and like, and you're like, nope. You were just kind of like, and I'm like, I don't know if she's excited about this as I am. It's all good.
Kathy,
And
no,
I'm
it's
still-
perfect. What you're doing is perfect. PF, I'll catch you up in just a minute. I promise. All right, Kathy,
Well,
how did you feel?
I didn't feel anything unusual.
Okay, all right, let's stick with that. All right, Craig, why don't you
Yes.
share what we were doing?
So I was supposed to mirror, it's mirroring and unmirroring, whatever Catherine was doing. If she was nodding yes, I nod no. And I was supposed to like interrupt and kind of just do the opposite. And then once I could tell that she was kind of irritated, see if I could bring her back and be interested again. But now I was a bad subject. I was a bad subject. I don't know. It was tough for me,
Hard.
Yeah.
struggled so hard with doing the opposite because I naturally, and I thought maybe it's not a good idea because I coach y'all too to be like that off, you know?
The only
Craig,
thing
you
I could
suck.
do was anytime I saw her nod yes, I nodded. I went no. And I don't even
Now that
think
I
she
have some
probably did it.
context, Craig, I'm sorry to tell you, but you suck at being a bad guy.
Yeah.
You're so,
We had a conversation.
It was
you're
good.
so empathetic and so patient and so engaging. You know,
Yeah.
I was,
I
Oh
mean,
my
I was
God.
like,
that's
I-
tough.
okay, let me jump in and say the conversation was about Yellow Jackets.
Yeah.
The movie,
And
the TV show or the act-
no, the
Real
TV.
live buzz you, bite you bugs.
Oh, my.
And Craig was so empathetic and such a good listener that I got interested in the subject.
Kathy
Even though
feels that love, Pia
Oh,
feels
man.
love. Okay,
I got dropped in,
yeah.
no clue, no nothing. And I was like, we're talking about bees? And he's like, but he was so good, you know, drawing her out and everything. It was
Oh
like,
my
oh my
gosh.
God.
Okay, this
Okay,
makes sense now.
Liz, now, okay, so could you feel, I know you felt when we were off, because at one point Liz, and Liz just looked at me.
I think I said you seem completely disinterested in what I'm saying.
I mean, she just looked at me. It was hilarious. Okay, at the end, did you feel a little bit of drawing back in again? Like a little bit more comfortable at the end when we switched to, what are you doing this weekend? And then you were like, I just told you. And then did you feel a little more drawn in then?
It was, you were getting me there, but I was just kind of, my head was still in what the heck is going on with her. And I didn't want to be like, I mean, I know we got life situations going on. I didn't want to be like making up stories, but I'm like, what is happening with Gina? But yes, towards the end, I felt like we could come back around and I was not feeling so like, what's going on?
It's very weird. Okay, so here's why I wanted to do this. And I'm going to give you guys some homework if you want it, and you will learn so much if you do this. I'm telling you, it's huge if you actually do it. I was talking with my son yesterday, and we were kind of going through some different ideas to train and teach, and he was throwing some stuff at me. What about this? What about that? So, you know, and we're bouncing back and forth. And he said, you know, something that I think is really interesting, because we were talking about his experience with them buying this house. And he said, you know, they had the not good agent, and then they had the good agent. And he said, he goes, how do you bond with somebody really quickly? And that's what just sparked in my brain of, oh yeah, I want to talk about that, about how you bond with somebody really, really quickly. And so we kind of went through some different ideas, and I want to open up to you guys. When you guys are meeting somebody for the first time, and in real estate, or even not in real estate, how do you gain their trust quickly? Like, what is it you guys do?
I'd just be me.
You just be you? Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
I don't try to manipulate people.
Right.
And-
I think that's part of my biggest challenge is that I just go in as myself, but I never expect anything to be quick. So I don't expect that the trust build. I mean, I expect that sometimes we hit it off on an energy level and we can just start going, but I've walked away from a number of interactions with people feeling like that was really great and would like to keep that conversation going, but I don't necessarily feel like trust was built to the level of, you know, I would love to help you in this space, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does. PF, what's your 2 cents in here? How you build trust,
I-
or how you bond?
Try to gauge if they have a sense of humor. Because I default to humor because I am naturally I'm shy, believe it or not. And I am an introvert and I hate people.
I love you right now. I'm not even joking. I'm on the mid-level,
So-
slightly extroverted, and really kind of don't like a lot of people.
So I always try to gauge like are they funny or not, or maybe do a little bit of self-differential joke, see if they laugh at me, you know, because I'm big and awkward and I actually think I'm small and skinny.
I love that. I love
So
it.
when I was in high school, my English was very poor, and one of the first words that I learned was klutz and clumsy, because I used to walk into a doorway without even realizing it, because back then I was skinny, like a little praying mantis.
Oh, that's so cute.
I-
That's so cute.
I was like all skin and limbs, that was me. Now
That's
then I
awesome.
filled out.
The gangly
But anyways,
boy, you know,
I
that's
try to
awesome.
gauge
Yeah.
if they laugh at me or they laugh with me, then it's like, oh, okay, then I can work with this. If they're a
Gotcha.
little serious, then it's like, okay, how do I navigate this person?
Mhm.
But anyways, that's what I got.
I love that. Um, I am a firm believer in being yourself, 1,000%. And I also am not somebody that feels like, I don't want to ever manipulate people. To manipulate people, for me, the connotations are to get them to do what I want them to do for my benefit. And I'm not interested in that on any level. What I am interested in is bonding with somebody and learning about who they are and what it is that they want, and then helping them get there. And if they want to go there and that's what they really, really want, then I'm okay with using everything that I have to help them get there, because that's what they want. So I don't look at it as manipulate. I think that the connotation for me of manipulating has a very negative connotation, and it feels like self-interested. And I never want to be that way. So what I do for me to bond, when we were talking about this, my son said, he said, I think it requires vulnerability. And I was like, that is very good, actually. I know. And so we talked about different ways. He said, I think it requires vulnerability. And this is just his viewpoint. And it also requires that you demonstrate some sort of competence if I'm going to trust you in order to do what it is you're asking me to do. And so he said, and how you put those things up, because they're almost the opposite of, look at me, here's all the cool things that I've done to develop, to show competence. And look at me, here's what I've screwed up to show vulnerability, and matching those two things in together. And it really got me thinking about this whole concept and what I do, and I do naturally, and you guys do it too, Craig, obviously you're a master at it. You just naturally go in with matching and marrying that person. And I think that's one of the first steps. And then I thought about the second parts, and those for me really come out in stories. For instance, I want to overprice my house, and we do the standard, the normal or the standard, handling that objection. And then if I can't get them, I might even start in the very beginning, I tell them a story. I'm like, and it's a true story. I'm like, don't make me do that. I had a girl and it was new in real estate and I let her do it. And it's my fault because I let her do it. She wanted the price here. I knew it needed to be here. It was when the market was coming down, and we spent 8 months chasing that market down, and I let her do it. And I shouldn't have, because I probably ended up losing her at least 30K, at least, if not more. And it broke my heart. And she's a doll and she adores me, but that's my fault. And I shouldn't have let her do that. I should have come in like what I knew was right was to do this. And I can't do what I don't know is, if it's not right, I can't do it. I just can't. I learned my lesson. And I think that shows like, I made a mistake. I'm never going to make that mistake again. And it's also true. It's a true story. It really is. And then the competence side, I think comes out, again, that can come out in story form. With instead of, I did this and I did that. One of the things that I naturally built in to my bio was I've lived in a ton of houses. We moved a lot when I was a kid. So I know how to, when we flipped them. So I know how to go in and go see good bones. I don't have to say, we flip houses and we've done so good and we made that. I don't have to do that. I can just tell a little story that's more subtle, but the message underneath that is, I know what the heck I'm doing. I can tell the bones of a house. I've done this a lot, so a lot more than a regular person moves. Regular person's moved like 7 times, and I'm pushing 60 some moves. So, I know. I've moved a lot.
You beat.
Pardon me?
You win.
Yeah, exactly. There's a period where we moved every 2 months for about 18 months
Wow.
maybe. I know. So it was just this constant thing of, it was a lot. It was a lot. Anyway, so I really like that vulnerability thing, which he made me think about. Okay, before I give you guys your homework, what are y'all's thoughts on what we did and building trust and bonding and vulnerability and competence and marrying and matching?
I think I agree with PF. I don't like people very much. I go for the animals and the babies and avoid the people, so I don't have to talk to them. Little small groups, I'm okay. I think.
Yeah,
But-
that's just how we get our energy too. Like I get my energy out of small groups. That's what I love. Big, huge parties. Oh,
I dread going to this convention.
so
I'm hanging on to what Gary said about going and finding somebody that's sitting by himself, because that's going to be
that's
me.
what I do. That's what I do. Do you know that I was in front of the silent partner of all that owned all of Virginia and Keller Williams? I've been in front of these huge people that own massive stuff that have just poured into me. I'm so blessed and so lucky because I go find those people because that's what interests me. And I don't want to go be with I'm not the party animal. I'm just not,
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
all right. Any other thoughts? And then I'm going to give you guys some cool homework.
Well,
No, but
Which
I'm an introverted extrovert.
I'm an extroverted introvert, I think. But yeah,
So
or vice, I don't know, one of the others. Yeah.
I mean, I love people,
Mhm.
and I can talk to just about anybody, but I love being alone.
Me too. I like my downtime. I
Yeah,
need a balance.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, now big crowds, I don't, I have to kind of psych myself out before I go into a crowd, sort of some of my PTSD, but I don't like concerts and, things of that sort. But, a party, I can go. Like last year, I probably went to more parties in my life than ever. And, this year people invited me and my wife to parties, and I'm like, we'll go to one, two, but yeah, I can't do that again this year. Like I'm drained afterwards.
Yeah. So it's about what feeds you energy. I love that. I like you don't like the huge concerts, especially where you're standing, but the small intimate venues.
Yeah.
That I love. I love that. That's like my one of my very favorite small intimate venues. It's magical. And Greg has taken me to a lot of those in our marriage, and they're cool. I'll do those all day long.
Yeah.
Especially when they tell stories in between whoever it is, and it's just like them and a guitar and stories. Like I got to see Steve Martin, just him and a banjo and stories, and it was cool. And then a bunch of other stuff like that, just small stories. Okay, you guys ready for homework?
I
Yep.
guess.
Okay, so here's what you do. We're good at mirroring and matching usually naturally as real estate agents anyway. That's just usually something that we just have innately. We learn when we were little kids, etc. And mirroring and matching in movement. And that's why with Liz, I was like this and going the opposite close. And that's when she started kind of mirroring me too, but looking at me really weird. So rate of speech, nodding, not interrupting, but interjecting at the right time, all that. We're just naturally good at that stuff. If you want to get really good at it, you do this. So when somewhere this weekend, when you're around somebody, somewhere Saturday, Sunday, today through Monday, when you're around somebody that you're probably never going to do real estate with, like don't do this with somebody that you're going to do real estate with, or you think you might do like do it with somebody you're probably pretty sure you never will. Hopefully we'll never see them again. And what I want you to do is I just want you to unmirror and unmatch everything that you possibly can, and do it until you see that they get supremely uncomfortable, and you'll be able to tell. And then as soon as you've hit that spot where they're looking at you like, what is wrong with you? As soon as you hit that spot, immediately shift and start mirroring and matching everything they do and see if you can pull them back. Now, full disclosure, the first time I ever did this, I didn't tell my husband. He was absolutely appalled at my behavior. He didn't know what I was doing. He thought it was a weird, he thought something was wrong with me. And the person that it was a Target clerk, and the person that I was doing it with I couldn't pull her back. I could not do it. And I tried. And that girl was just, I mean, you could see she turned away from me. Was pushing my stuff through as fast as she could to get me out of her line. Right. And no matter what I did, I could not bring her back. Couldn't do it. And I think the only reason that I could start to pull Liz back a little bit is because we have a relationship. I think that's the only reason why I could begin to kind of get her back. But I know she wasn't there, and it was very weird on my end too. It really was. So it wasn't just you feeling all the weirdness, Liz. Anyway, so unmirror, unmatch, get them uncomfortable, and then see if you can pull them back in again. And then I'd love to talk about it on Tuesday. So if I forget for whatever reason, or God knows what's going on in my life with the baby and all that, please remind me, because I would love to find out how you guys, like, what it felt like and your experience. And what you're going to learn from it is the second you are unmirrored or unmatched with somebody, you're going to be able to tell instantly. It's going to give you that hyper focus. And the cool thing with mirroring and matching is when you want to bond and you want to put yourself in a position of follow me, I'm your real estate agent, do what you need to do, what is in your best interest to do. The trick is like when someone doesn't mirror match with you, it's match, match, pull, match, match, pull. So if you've got somebody that, for instance, speaks really, really slowly, you will match up with their rate of speech and keep it at that level and have like a sentence or two, and then bring it up a little bit. And when you do that, what they will start doing is start matching up with you a little bit, and you'll start drawing them to you. And it just works. It just helps them. You're teaching them how to follow your lead. So this is the first step to be hyper aware of when someone's unmatched. So that's your homework. Find somebody, unmirror, unmatch until they do. And then when you get that, mirror and match them and see if you can get them back in again. Okay.
Okay. And I will say the only saving grace when we did ours is that I knew you, and I'm like, okay, this is not Gina. I don't know who this is, but
My husband is very, he's socially appropriate at all times. Always.
wow, that's
And he married me.
that's
And I am not that person. And
Kathy Kemp. I don't like people.
it made him, it literally, I was told to please warn him if I ever do crazy things like that again, like what is going on. And to be fair, when we were dating, I would purposely do things that made him uncomfortable because it made me laugh. Like if my kids were acting up, they're teenagers. We used to have fun in stores. We played tag and things like that. I mean, we were careful of other people, but we did that in stores. And so the kid, my son, was acting up one time, and my son looks just like him. I mean, just like him. And it was hilarious because all I did was I just backed away. There's a social distance where people are like, yes, they're together, they're a couple. And there's a social distance where, well, I don't think that the person's with that person, maybe not, right? But the other person, like my husband, hadn't clued in yet that I was just slightly out of that space, right? So I moved just slightly out of that space, and then again in probably a Target checkout line. And then I turned around and I said, would you please control your son? And I walked away. My husband was livid. He's like, we weren't even married yet. He was so pissed at me. And he's thinking this woman has this boy who's acting like an idiot. This is not socially appropriate. Isn't she going to do anything? And then all of a sudden, everybody thinks it's his kid. Oh my gosh. Yeah. So I'm not supposed to do that one anymore either. Anyway, so there you go. There's your homework. Have fun with it this weekend. And I cannot wait to hear how it's affected you and how it's helped you. So there you go. All right, you guys.
One question quick.
Fingers, yes.
Yeah, this headset is being tested for my daughter. Can you guys hear me and everything okay?
Yeah.
That was good.
Okay,
Beautifully.
all right.
And,
She asked me to
Catherine,
test.
I
Well,
just
like
dropped
little
Jake
cat
Hunter's-
ears.
That's
I
because
dropped Jake
I
Hunter's
needed
number in for you.
entertainment. I did. I grabbed it, Craig.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
You guys rock. And then my darling daughter-in-law gave me a ring light, so I don't have to sit here in the flipping dark anymore. Nice.
I saw it in your glasses.
Oh,
I need to, so mine at
Oh,
home,
yep.
mine at home, I've got, you have to play with it and get it arranged so that it's not, and it's like perfectly arranged at home. And then I talked to a guy yesterday who he got up and walked around and his camera follows him. I did
Yeah.
not know they had such a thing.
Wow.
Yeah, I have a gimbal that does it. So I can set my phone up on my gimbal.
Mhm.
And so when I move and my camera moves, I can, walk around and all
Do
of that.
stuff. Oh, okay, that's really cool. At home, I have the mic, which I'm gonna start using, because I'm gonna start doing the classes and training all that. So I've got the mic that can pick things up. I need to do it with my earbuds, not the headphones, although I am considering headphones. Well, for a couple reasons. One, it can pull everything back off my face, which is good, so you can see my face instead of, this and this. But two, just so I can, the hearing's better and all that. But whatever, those are on the wish list. We'll do that. So, all right, y'all, have a really, really good week. Thank you for playing along. That was really fun. Liz, mwah, you are a doll.
Thank you,
Thanks. I'll talk to you guys later.
All right.
everybody.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
guys.
Bye.